A young Frenchman of North African descent named Samir was practicing punches with his coach when a massive brawl broke out in the gym. Even dumbbells were used as weapons. Everyone got involved, except Samir. The former drug courier had recently been released on parole and needed to stay out of trouble. But as soon as Samir got out, his former boss Farhat ordered him to deliver a package again. Samir sent the gang members away. He was determined to start a new life. If everything went well, he would get a job at a construction site and a place to sleep. Most of the workers there were migrants back home. Life was even harder. The foreman was ready to take Samir onto his crew, which would please his parole officer. After one shift, Samir was followed by his former partners in crime. He had to hide at the construction site. One of the gang members attacked Samir and began beating him viciously. In an attempt to defend himself, Samir accidentally pushed the attacker off a ledge. The man fell onto metal pipes and died instantly. 5 years have passed since that day. Hiding from both the authorities and criminals, Samir moved to the Thai city of Bangchang. There he started a new life with Mia and her 7-year-old daughter Dara. Soon they would be expecting a child of their own. The fugitive took on a new name, Sam, and got a job as a porter at a hotel. However, Sam earned his real money by participating in Muay Thai fights. Today, the restaurant owner Sambat, Mia's boss, placed a bet on the Frenchman. Sam easily beat his opponent. Before the next match, he whispered to Sambat to bet against him. Staged fights were far more profitable. At the right moment, Sam dropped his guard and got knocked out. The promoter paid him his share, and the coach began to worry about his fighter. The other fighters were taking steroids and didn't hold back their punches when Sam threw a fight. Sambat, thrilled by his big win, offered to celebrate with a beer, but Sam declined. He was in a hurry to get back to his family. There was a plot of land for sale by the sea. Sam and Mia dreamed of building a bar there and starting their own business. That was why Sam was trying to earn as much money as possible. He finally managed to gather the required amount, but when it came time to finalize the paperwork, problems arose. Sam had no documents to prove his identity. And then they found out the landowner had canceled the deal. Apparently, someone had offered a higher price. That someone turned out to be a local gangster named Narong. Sam asked Sambat to speak with the mobster, and though reluctant, he agreed. Narong wanted to meet Sam in person. The gangster was also originally from France. He made a crude joke about Mia, which Sam obviously did not appreciate. Narong offered a deal. He would give up the land if Sam delivered a package of drugs for him. After all, Sam had access to both the airport and the hotel. The gangster had figured out that Sam hadn't just left France for no reason. Realizing he had been backed into a corner and that more than just a piece of land was at stake, Sam, the former criminal, agreed to take on one last job. Kosum retrieved a suitcase and showed him where the powder was hidden inside. Sam was given instructions and sent to the airport. At a checkpoint, Sam's vehicle was searched, and one of his passengers' bags was inspected. So far, everything was going smoothly. Sam handed off the luggage to the clients and wheeled the suitcase with the goods toward the runway. A security guard checked his badge again and let him through. Up ahead, Sam spotted one of Narong's men, but suddenly a group of guards with a dog approached from behind. They went after the Thai man first, beating him with batons. Another group of guards was closing in. Sam realized he needed to run. He took off at full speed and jumped over a fence. After running through the forest for a while, the Frenchman hid in a swamp, and the police passed right by him. When night fell, Sam made his way to a village. Police officers were still patrolling the area, so he had to swim part of the way to get home. He planned to escape from Bangchang with Mia and Dara, but when he arrived, armed thugs were already waiting at the doorstep. Sam fought back, but he was outnumbered, especially once the criminals grabbed his loved ones. After knocking Sam out, one of the female attackers stabbed Mia with a knife, and her partner delivered a blow with a machete. Mia slowly died in front of Sam's eyes. After that, the gangsters doused Sam and the house with gasoline. Narong personally lit the match and then got back into his car. He didn't expect Sam to survive, but Sam was thrown into the water and later rescued by his coach Hansa. In a feverish state, Sam saw Mia appear before him one last time before she silently vanished into the darkness. 2 weeks had passed, and the man had barely eaten. Sam could only think about Dara, but no one had seen the girl since that night. Sambat was relieved to learn that his friend had survived. Narong, however, had disappeared. Most likely he fled to Bangkok. But his right-hand man, Kosum, remained in town. Everyone believed Sam was dead, and Sambat urged him to vanish while he still could. Instead, Sambat gave Sam a photo of Dara. Sam walked to the same piece of land they had dreamed about and broke down in tears. But he wasn't going to run. He would find Dara and take revenge on everyone responsible for Mia's death. One of the waitresses reluctantly told Sam that Kosem could be found in a ladyboy brothel. The Avenger went into the city and started asking around if anyone knew Kosem. 3 ladyboys surrounded him, groped him from head to toe, and took all his money. But most importantly, they told him where to find Kosem. Sam arrived at a country estate popular among the rich. First, he had to deal with the security. He launched a surprise attack and knocked out 2 thugs. A woman grabbed a machete, but Sam wrestled it away and slit her throat. He had to kill again. He wiped off the blood, put on a jacket, and pretended to be one of the guests. But someone soon realized he didn't belong. On the second floor was a luxurious brothel. In the hallway, 2 guards attacked Sam. He barely managed to take them down. The third one was easier. Sam broke his arm and knocked him out. That's when Kosem appeared, armed with a sawed-off shotgun. A shot rang out. During the struggle, Sam disarmed him and was ready to blow his head off, but Kosem begged him to stop and said Dara was still alive. Suddenly, he lunged for the barrel and lost half his skull. Sam began showing Dara's photo to the girls working there. They admitted that very young girls often came through the place, but were usually taken to Bangkok afterward, to Chinatown, to a bar called Cowboy. Holding the guards at gunpoint, Sam managed to escape the brothel. He returned to his trainer and told him about Dara. The old man showed Sam an ancient blade that had been passed down in his family from father to son. He also gave him his grandfather's protective amulet and decided to join Sam, because he now saw him as a son. Sambot decided to sell his restaurant and get as far away from there as possible. The Frenchman should not have killed Kosem. Things were about to explode in the city, so the man refused to help his friend rescue the girl. Sam and his trainer arrived in the capital. By evening, they reached the Cowboy brothel. Sam told the hostess he wanted something special. 11 young girls were lined up in front of the picky client, but they were all too old for him. So the manager led Sam down a dark corridor. He grabbed her by the throat and showed her a photo of Dara. The woman screamed and called for a guard. Sam pretended to leave the establishment, but then beat the bouncer to death with a billiard ball. This was Wrong's club, so the woman had to know where to find him. Sam and his teacher continued their journey by boat. Hansa sharpened his blade. He would be using it soon. Armed thugs met them at the dock. The old man placed his lucky amulet in his mouth and ruthlessly slaughtered them. He created a diversion so Sam could infiltrate Nerong's compound. There, Sam began questioning an employee about Dara. One girl agreed to help. She led him to a room where very young girls were working, stuffing colorful pills into shrimp. This was how Nerong ran 2 businesses at once. Sam took down one of the guards with a double kick, and then crushed the last thug's head with his foot. The girl explained that the children had been brought there 2 weeks ago and were later taken away by boat. Sam found out where Nerong was and told all the girls to run outside. To reach the boss, Sam had to fight through a horde of bodyguards. They were all armed with machetes and axes, but that did not stop the Avenger. Since the Thai men attacked one by one, it was easy for a professional fighter to take them down. One of the enemies resisted for too long, and for that, Sam slowly finished him off with a machete. Reinforcements arrived. That batch of gangsters was taken on by the old trainer. Another group of fighters confronted Sam ahead. The fight continued inside a freight elevator. Sam kept shooting, slashing, and breaking limbs. What followed was pure carnage. Nerong watched the horror unfold from his office. Sam was badly wounded but managed to reach the boss, only to collapse from exhaustion. Nerong revealed that all these years, Sam had been hunted by his old friend, the crime boss Farhat. Back on the construction site, Sam had accidentally killed his brother. By the way, it was Sambot who had betrayed his friend. He was a real bastard, but he did arrange for Dara to be handed over to him. So the girl had actually been in Bangchang the entire time. Narong began to strangle the stubborn Frenchman. Sam remembered the dying eyes of his wife and, without hesitation, stabbed Narong in the neck. The gangster bled out. Sam gathered his strength and stepped into the hallway. There, lying on the floor, was the fatally wounded teacher Hansa. He died right in front of Sam. All the children who had been working at the factory ran toward the police. Sam tracked down the traitor. He had opened a new bar on the same land and named it Dara. Sambot never expected to see Sam again. The man tried to justify himself, claiming things had gotten out of hand. He loved Mia, wanted to marry her, and then Sam came back and ruined everything. Sam pointed a gun at the scumbag, but suddenly heard Dara's voice calling out for her daddy. The man dropped the gun onto the sand and ran to embrace his daughter. Sam picked Dara up in his arms and carried her home. In the distance, a gunshot rang out. Sambot had pulled the trigger himself. That's where the film ends. Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed it.